There is something English learners do again and again. Maybe you're doing it too. It feels like learning, but it's not. It makes you busy, but not fluent. It wastes your time and energy. It keeps your mouth closed and your mind full of grammar rules. You sit with a notebook. You underline words. You highlight grammar points. You memorize new vocabulary. You spend hours watching videos, but you don't speak. You keep waiting for the right time, the right words, the right accent. But that moment never comes. And day by day, you feel more confused, more frustrated. You ask yourself, why can't I speak English yet? You know the answer. But it's hidden behind your fear. You are making the biggest mistake English learners make. You think learning is just studying. You think fluency means perfection. But fluency is not about knowing everything. Fluency is about using what you already know. And today, I will tell you what this big mistake is. I will show you why it's dangerous. And most importantly, how to fix it. If you are tired of being stuck, if you are tired of feeling like English is a dream too far, then stay with me, because what I am about to say will change your English learning forever. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Silent Trap. You learn English. You study hard. You know many rules, but you still cannot speak. Why? Because you are trapped in silence. This is something no teacher tells you. You are learning English without using English. That is the trap. You watch videos. You read books. You write words in your notebook. But your mouth stays closed. You do not speak, not even simple sentences. You are afraid of mistakes. You are afraid of what people will say. You think, I will speak when I am ready, when I know more words, when I feel confident. But that day never comes. Every day you sit down and study. You feel proud. You feel like you are learning. But deep inside, you know something is missing. You know that when someone asks you, "How are you?" you freeze. You forget what to say. Even though you have studied the answer many times, your mind becomes blank. You feel nervous. You feel embarrassed. This is the silent trap, and many English learners fall into it. They spend months, even years, studying English. But they never practice speaking. So when they meet someone who speaks English, they panic. They cannot say even a few words. I remember a student from my class. Her name was Amina. She always came early. She always brought her notebook. Her notes were beautiful, colorful, organized. She knew all the grammar rules. She could write perfect answers in exams. But when we did speaking practice, she looked down. She said nothing. She was afraid of making mistakes. One day I asked her, "Why don't you speak?" She said, "I don't want to say something wrong. I don't want people to laugh." That day, I realized the truth. Many students think learning means knowing everything. But real learning happens when you use what you know, even if it's not perfect. The silent trap is dangerous. It makes you feel like you are moving forward, but you are stuck in one place. It gives you a false sense of progress. You memorize 20 new words today, but you don't use even one. You understand grammar in your head, but you never use it in a real sentence. So it disappears. It fades from your memory. Because the brain forgets what it doesn't use. You think learning is reading. You think learning is watching. But learning is doing. Learning is using. You are not alone. Many English learners make this mistake. They wait. They prepare. They stay quiet. They think they are not ready. But the truth is, the only way to be ready is to start. Start speaking. Start small. Use simple words. Make mistakes. It's okay. Nobody speaks perfectly in the beginning, but those who speak improve. Those who stay silent stay stuck. So ask yourself now, are you trapped in silence? Do you spend more time studying English than using it? Do you wait for the perfect moment to speak? If the answer is yes, then you must break this trap. Open your mouth. Say something. Anything. Speak to yourself. Speak to a mirror. Speak to your friend. Don't wait. Don't try to be perfect. Try to be brave. Because only when you speak, you grow. Chapter 2. My friend from India. I had a friend from India. His name was Rakesh. He was one of the smartest people I had ever met. He studied English for more than 10 years. He read newspapers every day. He memorized long word lists. He could explain grammar rules better than some teachers. He knew what a gerund was. He knew how to use the third conditional. He even corrected other people's grammar mistakes in writing. But there was a problem. He could not speak. One day, we were in a restaurant together. The waiter came and asked, "What would you like to drink?" Rakesh froze. He looked at me. His mouth was open, but no words came out. I saw fear in his eyes. He was not a beginner. He had studied English for years, but he couldn't say a simple sentence like, "Can I have a glass of water?" I ordered for him. After the waiter left, he said quietly, "I don't know why I can't speak. I know the sentence in my mind. I say it in my head. But when I try to speak, it disappears. I feel stuck." I understood him. He was like many English learners. They know the language in theory, but they don't use it in real life. And when the time comes to speak, their mind becomes a blank page. That's because knowledge is not the same as ability. Knowing about a car doesn't mean you can drive. Reading about swimming doesn't mean you can swim. And studying English doesn't mean you can speak it. Rakesh was always waiting to be perfect. He said, "I will speak when I'm ready." But he never felt ready. He was afraid of mistakes. He wanted every sentence to be correct, and that fear stopped him from practicing. It was not his grammar that failed him. It was his silence. One day, I gave him advice. I said, "Stop studying. Start speaking. Use the English you already know. Don't worry if it's not perfect." He laughed and said, "Easy for you to say." But I saw something change in him. He wanted to try. So he made a small plan. Every day he spoke for 5 minutes. He talked to himself in the mirror. He described what he was doing. "I am brushing my teeth. I am making tea. I am going to work." These were simple sentences, but they were real. He was using the language. Then he started talking to people, shopkeepers, taxi drivers. even strangers in parks. He made many mistakes. Sometimes people didn't understand him. Sometimes they corrected him. But he didn't stop. He smiled. He learned. He improved. After 3 months, we went to the same restaurant again. The same waiter came. This time, Rakesh looked up and said clearly, "Can I have a glass of water, please?" The waiter nodded and smiled. Rakesh smiled too. It was a small sentence, but for him it was a big moment. He told me later, "I wasted so many years thinking that studying was enough. But now I know, if you don't speak, you don't learn. Speaking is learning." His story is important because it shows the real cost of silence. The cost is your time, your confidence, your progress. When you don't speak, you don't grow. You stay stuck, and the longer you stay silent, the harder it becomes to start. So remember this: your English doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be used. Don't be like Rakesh in the beginning. Be like Rakesh after 3 months. Speak, try, make mistakes, learn from them. Because the only way to speak better English is to speak more English. Chapter 3: Study versus Use. When I started learning English, I thought I was doing everything right. I had a thick grammar book. I used a pencil to underline every new rule. I wrote long lists of vocabulary with meanings in my native language. I translated songs, poems, and news articles. I watched English movies with subtitles and paused them to write down difficult words. Every evening, I spent 2 hours studying. My notebook was full. My mind was full. But my mouth was silent. I did not speak, not even to myself. I remember one evening, I was sitting at my study table. I had just finished writing down 10 new English words. I read them again and again. Then I closed the notebook and said to myself, "Today, I learned something new." But then a question came to my mind. Can I use these words in a sentence? I tried. I couldn't. My mind was blank. I didn't know how to start. That was the moment I realized something. I was not using English. I was only studying it. That moment changed my whole journey. Studying English and using English are not the same. Studying is reading, writing, translating, memorizing. Using is speaking, listening, understanding, expressing. You need both. But most learners only study. They don't use the language, and then they wonder why they can't speak. I had to change my method. The next morning, I picked 5 words from my list. I said them aloud. I made simple sentences with them. I eat breakfast in the morning. The weather is cold today. I said them again and again. I didn't care if they were simple. I cared that I was using them. Then I tried to speak about my day. I said things like, I go to the kitchen, I make tea, I wash my cup. These were not difficult sentences, but they were mine. And I was using English to describe my life. That was the beginning of real learning. I also started listening to short English dialogues. I listened, paused, repeated. I copied the tone, the rhythm, the feeling of the speaker. I started enjoying this new way. I didn't need to be perfect. I just needed to try. Slowly, I noticed something strange. When I spoke, words came faster. Sentences felt more natural. I didn't need to translate in my head anymore. It felt like magic, but it wasn't magic. It was practice. Many learners think that studying is enough. They say, I read grammar. I learn vocabulary. Why can't I speak? The answer is simple. Because you are not using English. You are only thinking about it. It's like learning to play the piano by reading a book. You understand the notes, you know the rules, but when you sit at the piano, your fingers don't move. Why? Because you never practiced playing. English is the same. If you want to speak English, you must speak it. Use what you know. Start small. Describe your room. Talk about your breakfast. Say something in English every day. Even if you are alone, speak. Even if you don't have someone to talk to, speak to yourself. This is not strange. This is smart. This is how you learn to use the language. So ask yourself now, are you just studying English? Or are you using it? That question changed everything for me. I hope it changes something for you too. Chapter 4. Your brain learns by doing. Many English learners believe that if they study enough, they will speak well. They think English is like math. You solve problems. You remember formulas. You pass tests. But English is not math. English is like swimming. You cannot learn to swim by reading a book. You cannot sit on the shore, study the water, and expect to float. You must get in. You must move your arms. You must kick your legs. You must feel the water around you. Only then does your body learn to swim. The same is true for speaking English. Your brain learns by doing, not by reading, not by watching, not by remembering, but by using. When you speak English, your brain creates new paths. These paths become stronger each time you speak. That is how fluency grows. It's not about how much you know. It's about how often you use what you know. Let me give you an example. When you ride a bicycle for the first time, you fall. You are nervous. Your hands shake. You forget how to balance. But after a few tries, something amazing happens. Your body remembers. You ride without thinking. You don't say, now I move my left foot, now my right. You just ride. Your brain and body work together. This is called muscle memory. Your mouth has muscles too. Your tongue, your lips, your jaw. They need practice to speak new sounds. They need movement. You cannot build these speaking muscles by looking at a textbook. You must speak again and again. Even simple sentences, even if they are not perfect. This is how your mouth learns to speak English. Children know this secret. Think of how a child learns to talk. She does not start with grammar books. She does not sit in a classroom. She hears words. She repeats them. She makes mistakes. She tries again. She uses the language before she understands it. And because she uses it every day, she learns fast. She says, I go to the park. No one says, that's wrong grammar. People smile and say, you went to the park? That's great. Slowly, the child corrects herself. She learns the right way through using, not through studying. Adults forget this simple truth. We want everything to be correct. We fear mistakes. We fear looking silly. So we wait. We hide. We say, "I will speak when I am ready." But the truth is, you get ready by speaking. You do not speak because you are fluent. You become fluent because you speak. Your brain wants practice. Your mouth wants movement. You must give them both. Try this. Every day, take 5 minutes. Describe your room in English. Say what you are doing. I am drinking tea. I am opening the window. I am checking my phone. Don't worry about hard words. Use easy words. Speak slowly, but speak. If you don't know a word, skip it or find a simple one. The goal is not perfect English. The goal is to make your brain and your mouth work together. Repeat your sentences out loud, again and again. Say the same thing every day. The more you repeat, the faster your brain connects the words. The easier it becomes. This is how fluency grows, not by magic, but by habit. So remember, your brain learns by doing, not by waiting, not by wishing, not by worrying. It learns by action. Speak today, speak now, even one sentence, because each small sentence is one step closer to fluency. Chapter 5. Stop translating in your head. There is one thing many learners do without noticing. It stops them from speaking. It makes their mind slow. It creates confusion. It kills confidence. They translate everything in their head, from their native language into English. Before they speak, they think in their own language first. They build the sentence. Then they try to turn it into English. But English and their language are not the same. The grammar is different. The word order is different. The sounds are different. So the sentence gets stuck. They hesitate. They lose the moment. They feel nervous. I met a woman in London. Her name was Farah. She came from Egypt. She had been learning English for 3 years. She could read well. She could understand movies. But speaking was difficult for her. I asked why. She said, "I always think in Arabic first. Then I try to speak in English, but it's too slow. I forget the sentence. I get confused." One day, we were in a small shop. The man behind the counter asked her, "Do you want a bag?" Farah stood still. She didn't answer. She looked at me and whispered, "What is the word for yes in English?" I smiled and said, "Yes." She laughed. She knew the word, but her brain was busy translating everything, even simple things. That night, we sat in a quiet cafe. I gave her one challenge. Let's talk for 5 minutes, but no Arabic in your head. Only English. Use easy words. Speak slowly. If you don't know something, use another word. She said, "But what if I make a mistake?" I said, "Then you learn something new." She nodded, and we began. At first, she paused a lot. She searched for words, but slowly, she relaxed. She said, I go to work. By bus." I asked, "Every day?" She smiled. "Yes, every day I go by bus." I said, "Good. Keep going." She talked about her family, her favorite food, and her weekend plans. She did not translate. She used what she knew. And for the first time, she spoke for 5 full minutes without stopping. She felt free. She felt proud. After that day, she made a rule for herself. No more translating, only simple English. She began thinking in English during her day. She said to herself, I am brushing my teeth. I am walking to the market. I am eating lunch. She didn't speak out loud all the time, but her mind was practicing, and her fluency started to grow. Within 2 months, Farah was speaking better than ever before, because when you stop translating, your brain becomes faster. Your sentences become smoother. You don't get stuck. You think directly in English, and this is the key to speaking with ease. So how can you stop translating? First, use very simple English. Don't try to speak like a native speaker. Just try to speak like you. Use small words. Say small sentences. Speak about real things. Your day, your food, your plans. Second, practice thinking in English. Start with 1 minute, then 3 minutes, then 5 minutes. Look around your room and describe things in English. This is my bed. This is a chair. The window is open. Do this every day. It trains your mind. Third, don't be afraid of making mistakes. You are not in school. You are not taking a test. You are learning to speak. And mistakes are a part of learning. You learned to walk by falling. You will learn to speak by trying. If you keep translating, you will always be slow. If you stop translating, you will start speaking freely. So today, try one thing. Say 5 sentences in English, without thinking in your native language. Say them slowly. Say them clearly. And feel the difference. Chapter 6. Shadowing changed my life. There was a time when I could understand English, but I couldn't speak it. I watched English movies. I read English books. I listened to songs. But when I tried to speak, I felt slow and lost. My mouth didn't move the way I wanted. My words didn't sound natural. I thought something was wrong with me. I thought maybe speaking was just too hard. Then one day, everything changed. I was watching a YouTube video. It was a short dialogue between 2 people. They were speaking slowly and clearly. I liked the way they spoke. I paused the video and repeated one sentence. Then I played the next line, paused, and repeated again. I did this for the whole video. At first, I sounded strange. I laughed at myself. But I enjoyed it. I did it again the next day, and the next. Soon, I found out this method had a name. It's called shadowing. Shadowing means listening to native speakers and copying them. You don't just understand them. You repeat them. You try to speak exactly like them. You copy the words, the rhythm, the tone. You speak at the same time, or just 1 second behind. You speak with their voice as your guide. Shadowing is powerful because it connects your ears to your mouth. You are not just hearing English, you are speaking it too. You are not only learning what to say, you are learning how to say it. This method changed everything for me. I began shadowing every day. I used YouTube videos, slow English podcasts, and short movie scenes. I chose clips with simple dialogues. I listened to one sentence. I paused. I repeated. Sometimes I paused after every word. Sometimes after the full sentence. I did it again and again. In the beginning, I felt shy. I made many mistakes, but I didn't stop. I kept repeating. I kept listening. Slowly, my pronunciation got better. My confidence grew. I started hearing the music of English, the way native speakers connect words, the way they stress some words and swallow others. And the best part? Without even trying, my brain started thinking in English. I remember one morning, I was brushing my teeth, and I said to myself in English, I have to go to the store today. I didn't plan it. It just came. That was the moment I knew shadowing was working. So how can you start shadowing at home? Here are some simple steps. Step 1. Choose a short video. It should have clear English. It can be a YouTube clip, a podcast, or a slow English conversation. The video should be 1 to 3 minutes long. Step 2. Watch the full video once without speaking. Just listen. Understand the meaning. Step 3. Now play the video again. This time, pause after each sentence. Repeat what you hear. Try to copy the exact sound and rhythm. Say it out loud. Step 4. Repeat the whole video 3 times. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Just keep going. Step 5. After a few days, try to shadow the video without pausing. Speak just 1 second after the speaker, like an echo. At first, it will be hard, but soon, it will become easier. Step 6. Do this every day, even for 5 minutes. It will train your mouth. It will train your ears. It will train your brain. Shadowing is like going to the gym for your English muscles. The more you practice, the stronger you get. It builds confidence. It builds fluency. It teaches you to speak naturally, like a native speaker. I used to feel nervous when speaking. I used to think for a long time before I said anything. But now, words come faster. Sentences come smoother. I don't need to translate in my head. I just speak. And it all started with shadowing. If you feel stuck, if you feel afraid, if you feel like you know English but can't speak it, try shadowing. It worked for me. It can work for you too. Chapter 7. Mistakes are your best teachers. When you learn English, it's easy to feel afraid. Afraid of saying the wrong thing, afraid of people laughing, afraid of making a mistake. But let me tell you something. Mistakes are not your enemy. They are your teachers. And sometimes they are even your friends. I remember one day in London, I went to a small coffee shop near the train station. I wanted to order a black coffee. It was a simple thing. I had practiced this many times at home. I want a black coffee, please. But when I stood in front of the cashier, I got nervous. My tongue felt heavy. My mind froze. I looked at the menu and I said, "Can I have a black cow, please?" The girl behind the counter looked confused. Then she laughed. A man in the line behind me also laughed. I felt my face turn red. I smiled, trying to hide my mistake. The girl said kindly, "Do you mean black coffee?" I nodded quickly. Yes, coffee. Not cow. We all laughed again. I felt a little embarrassed, but I also felt something else. I felt light. I felt free. I made a mistake, and nothing bad happened. No one was angry. No one shouted. People laughed, yes, but not in a bad way. And I never forgot that moment. I never made the same mistake again. That small mistake taught me something big. It taught me that mistakes are how we learn. Think about how babies learn to speak. They say moom instead of moon. They say goed instead of went. But they don't stop speaking. They don't cry because they make a mistake. They keep talking, and that's why they learn so fast. But when adults make mistakes, we feel ashamed. We try to be perfect. We wait and wait, hoping to speak without error. But that's not how learning works. If you want to speak English, you must be ready to make many mistakes. You must smile at your mistakes. You must welcome them. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new. A new word, a new sound, a new way to say something. Mistakes show you what to fix. Mistakes show you where to grow. So how do you become fearless? First, change how you see mistakes. Don't see them as failures. See them as lessons. When you say the wrong word, don't feel bad. Feel excited. You just discovered something new. Second, talk to people who are kind. Speak with friends, teachers, or online partners who understand you are learning. When you feel safe, you will speak more. And when you speak more, you improve faster. Third, celebrate your progress. Did you try to order food in English today? Great. Did you ask for help in English, even with mistakes? Wonderful. These are wins. Be proud of them. I once met a man who never spoke English, even though he studied it for years. When I asked why, he said, "I'm afraid people will laugh at me." I told him, "Then laugh first. Laugh at your own mistakes. Make fun of them. Make them your friends." A few weeks later, he messaged me and said, "I spoke English today. I made mistakes, but I laughed and I felt good." That's the secret. When you stop fearing mistakes, you start learning for real. So here's a small challenge for you. Today, try to speak English with someone, or record yourself speaking. Make as many mistakes as you want. And after that, write down what you learned. Not what you did wrong, but what you learned. You'll be surprised how much you grow from one small try. And remember this: the more mistakes you make, the faster you learn. Don't avoid them. Invite them. Because mistakes are not signs of weakness. They are signs that you are learning something powerful. Chapter 8. Speak first, study later. Most English learners do the same thing. They open a book. They study rules. They write down vocabulary. They watch videos. They read grammar. Then, maybe, at the end of the day, they try to speak 1 or 2 sentences. And even then, they feel nervous. They stop quickly. They think, "I need to study more before I speak." But this is not the right way. This is the slow way, the frustrating way, the way that keeps you stuck for years. Let me tell you something that changed my life. You don't need to wait to speak. You need to start speaking now. Even if your English is not perfect, even if you only know a few words. In the beginning, I used to study first. I read books, translated texts, memorized words, and watched grammar lessons for hours. I felt smart. I felt busy. But when someone spoke to me in real life, I couldn't answer. My mouth stayed closed. My mind went blank. One day, I decided to do the opposite. I said, "Today, I will speak first." I stood in front of the mirror. I looked at myself and said out loud, "Good morning. How are you today? I am feeling good. I will eat breakfast now." These were not difficult sentences, but they were mine. I said them without looking at a book. I said them from my memory. Then later I checked. Was my grammar okay? Were the words correct? Sometimes they were, sometimes not. But that didn't matter. What mattered was that I used the language first, and then I corrected myself. That is how I improved faster. Speaking first is powerful. Why? Because it tells your brain, this language is real. I need to use it now. It creates a real connection between your brain and your mouth. And that's how fluency is born, not by reading about the language, but by using it in real life. Think about it like this. A child doesn't study grammar before speaking. A child speaks first, simple words, short phrases. Then slowly, the child learns how to say things better. The same method works for you. You are not too old. You are not too late. Your brain still learns best by doing. So here is a method you can try today. I call it speak first, study later. Step 1. Wake up and speak 3 simple sentences. No book, no phone, just you and your words. For example, today is Monday. I have a lot of work. I will eat rice for lunch. Step 2. Say these sentences out loud, twice, slowly, with feeling. Smile while you speak. Step 3. After that, write down the sentences and check them. Is the grammar okay? Did you say the right words? If not, no problem. Now you correct them. Now you learn something new. Step 4. Do this every day, just 5 minutes. And every day make the sentences a little longer, a little more interesting. I have a lot of work today, but I will do my best. Or, I ate rice for lunch. It was spicy, but I liked it. Step 5. Once a week, record yourself speaking. Listen to your voice. You will hear progress. You will notice how much easier it becomes. When you speak first, you tell your brain, this language is important to me. You give it a reason to remember. And when you study after speaking, you understand the rules better. Because you are fixing your own real mistakes, not just answering questions from a book. Many learners ask, how can I speak better? I say, stop waiting. Start talking. Even if your sentences are simple, even if your words are basic, even if you feel shy, speak. Today. Now. 1 minute. 2 minutes. 5 minutes. That is how you build fluency. Fluency is not born in silence. It is born in the small moments, when you dare to speak, even before you are ready. Chapter 9. The Fluency Formula. Now, everything comes together. Everything you've learned in the last chapters leads to one simple truth. You can speak English fluently, even if you are an absolute beginner. You just need the right method, not a complicated method, not a long plan, just a simple daily routine, a way to bring English into your life in a real and powerful way. This is the fluency formula I discovered through years of trial and error. Speak daily, plus listen actively, plus shadow native speakers, plus make mistakes, plus don't wait to be perfect. That's it. This simple formula changed my English forever. And today, I want to share it with you. Let me start with a story. There was a boy named Sammy. He was a quiet boy from a small village. He wanted to learn English, but he had no teacher, no money, no special books. He only had his phone, some headphones, and a dream. One day he found a short video in English. He didn't understand everything, but he liked the speaker's voice. He started shadowing that video every day. He listened, paused, repeated. He said, "I am not perfect, but I will speak anyway." Every morning, he spoke for 5 minutes. Every night, he listened to English stories. He didn't study grammar. He didn't memorize big word lists. He followed the fluency formula. And in 6 months, Sammy could speak with foreigners in his town. He made friends from other countries. He even helped a lost tourist find the bus station. All this from 5 minutes a day. So what is the 5-minute daily fluency routine? Here it is. Step 1. Speak daily. 1 minute. Start your day by speaking 3 simple sentences aloud. For example, good morning. Today I will go to the market. I hope the weather stays nice. Say them slowly, clearly, with confidence. Step 2. Listen actively. 1 minute. Listen to one short audio or video clip in English, not just for fun, but to learn. Choose something made for English learners. Focus on how words are spoken, not just what they mean. Step 3. Shadow a native speaker. 1 minute. Take one sentence from the audio or video and shadow it. Repeat it after the speaker. Try to match their speed and tone. Say it 3 times. Feel the words in your mouth. Step 4. Make a mistake. 1 minute. Yes, try to make a mistake. Say something new. Say something you've never said before. Don't check the grammar first. Just try. Then fix it. Learn from it. This is where real growth happens. Step 5. Celebrate progress. 1 minute. At the end, say one sentence to yourself. I am proud of my progress. Or, I spoke English today. This sentence is small, but powerful. It keeps you motivated. That's all. Just 5 minutes. You don't need a fancy course. You don't need to move to another country. You need 5 minutes. Every single day. That is how fluency is born. Slowly. Naturally. With courage, not perfection. Let me remind you of the full formula again. Speak daily. Use your voice. Listen actively. Train your ears. Shadow native speakers. Copy the music of English. Make mistakes and learn from them. Don't wait to be perfect. Start now. I've seen this method work again and again. It worked for me. It worked for Sammy. It worked for Farah. And it can work for you too. You are not too slow. You are not too late. You are learning in your own time, in your own way. And that's something to be proud of. So promise me one thing. Don't stop here. Even if you speak for 1 minute today, speak. Even if you only understand half the video, listen. Even if you make 10 mistakes, try again. Because your English will not grow by staying silent. It will grow by using it, every single day. Fluency is not far, it's right around the corner, and you are walking toward it, one sentence at a time. If this video helped you, please like it. It helps others find it too. If you want more simple and powerful tips like these, subscribe to the channel, and please comment below. What will you say in English today? Just one sentence. Share it with us. Let's speak together. Let's grow together. You are not alone. I believe in you. And your English journey starts now.